Everyone wants to call themselves an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurship is a mindset, but entrepreneurship is also a state of being. It's not just, what we want to do. So I want to break this down for you, but I just want to give you some insight into some of the things you need to do. The 4 stages of business ownership: employee, self-employed, business owner, another E, entrepreneur. So once you know where you are, you know how to get to the next stage. So as an employee, I mean, you can make anywhere from, I don't know, let's say $15 an hour. As a PT, probably a lot more, right? So let's say $21 to, I have on my notes $155,000 a year, but Brandon just told us that you can make $200,000 a year as an employee, right? So let's put 200,000 on there, right? And that's really pretty much in home health. Working, it's probably like 80 hours a week. Okay, what's an employee? You have a job. Like, it's a pretty standard thing, but here's what comes with it. And we're thinking about time, your time commitment. It's like generally 5 days, 40 hours. What's your limit here? And it's really your boss, the system, right? It's not yourself. You aren't the limit. I mean, other than making the decision to quit and do something different, right? But the limiter is really kind of like other people. Okay. But look, what's the upside? There's really no risk. You get a steady paycheck every 2 weeks. You know when you need to be there. You know when you need to leave. You have you kind of have defined limits, like, hey, this is what we need you to do, even if it's to, bill Medicare double, commit Medicare fraud, like some people have, I'm sure, have experienced. I've never experienced it, but I've heard it enough. Like that's really the only risk you got, right? You don't really have any risk. It's stable. Find a good job, it's stable. So some people thrive on stability, right? And something that's regular, right? But a lot of people are like, screw this. I can do it better. I can do it myself. And they go right down here. They become self-employed. This is where you start a business. What can you do self-employed? I mean, you can make anywhere from $0 to, as a PT, like cash practice, 300,000. If you're doing an online business, maybe it's a little bit more scale, but like I'm talking about by yourself, no employees, no team members. You've got a job. You basically built a JOB. Grant Cardone calls this just over broke. You've built a job, and that's not horrible. Because maybe you got out of, maybe you got out of a shitty situation. Maybe being employed sucked. Most people probably aren't at the top. Some people are struggling from the bottom, but you're working anywhere from 30 to 50, maybe even 80 hours per week. You make no money on vacation because you're trading time for money. You might make enough that it's okay. It provides you some freedom and flexibility for sure, because you can take time off when you want. You can take time off when you want, but it can be really tough and limiting. Self-employed, like everyone told me, Aaron, this isn't going to work. You're crazy to start a cash practice. You can't do it. You shouldn't do it. No one's going to pay to come see you. So I said, look, I'm going to basically, I built myself a job, but it didn't afford me the ability to go to conferences, because I was like, well, gosh, the conferences in the middle of the week, I have to not see patients for 3 days during the week. And then I have to travel a day, and I'm going to lose, so the conference is going to cost a couple $1,000 to fly to, stay at, and I'm going to lose a couple thousand. So I'm out like $4,000, $5,000 to try to go to CSM or PPS. It's like, I couldn't figure out how to do that. How are all these people going? But I can't do that. No one was around teaching me, here's how you afford to go to a conference. And I was, especially when I was like, there's nothing on the ticket that has anything interesting to me to learn. I just wanted to go connect with some people. Okay, so you realize that, you recognize, okay, I've got a job, and that's totally fine for a certain stage. And to move over into business owner status, the thing that changes there is your team. These are employees, VAs, etc. You now manage other people. So the definition isn't just like you're a boss. The definition is you've built a team of people that can help you. So what does this allow us to do? Well, this is where, you could do this early on for sure, but generally this is like making 100K to, 1 million, 1 million plus. You can own a business, right? The time you put in is still, it can be 50 to 90 hours per week. Maybe you can do, 2 days a week and do this. And we can call that 25. But you own a business, right? The limit is you. You're still trading time for money. One-on-one, you're doing all the work, the coaching. Maybe you've hired some other people and they're doing some of it, and you've got one stream of income. Okay, so you can own a business, and there's a lot of business owners that'll do $1 million in revenue and they won't take home $100,000. The limiting factor is us. It is. It's me. I am the limiter in both of my businesses. As a physical therapist, we're a highly educated technician. And we look at our business as, so my role is not only CEO and chief marketing officer, chief financial officer, I'm also the technician who delivers the service. If I'm in the self-employed status, I'm the one that cleans the bathroom. I go to the store, I go to the post office, I do all the things. I sweep everything. I make all the phone calls. Then the next thing that happens is once you stop trading time for money, then this is multiple income streams. Now you got multiple income streams. The amount of money you can make is unlimited. It's really unlimited. It's only really limited by you, but can you, like if I have the time, if I've got a business that generates me enough revenue to afford me the time to figure out what the next thing is, and I can figure that one out and get that to this status. Now you have multiple businesses. I'm down here into entrepreneur zone. Maybe you can do 10 to 50 hours a week. You have the flexibility to do whatever the fuck you want. Your impact is unlimited. The limit here are your systems, your leadership, and I would say desire or goals. Okay. Entrepreneurs are pretty much like people that are looking to solve problems in multiple places, and they're helping massive amount of people. And they're almost always looking for the next thing. But if we think about it in terms of like, how do we think about it in terms of like something tangible? I think this is it. It's, you work for someone else, you work for yourself, you employ other people, you have multiple streams of revenue. What do entrepreneurs do?